I wanted to show segments of my one-on-one sit-down interview with Mr. Johnson on a show that we taped a few months later. Of course, we talked about his background, his time with the people at WHAV, Haverhill High School, and of course his wife of 48 years, Pat, who worked for WCCM, by the way, for many a year. We talked about how he was a graduate and later became a trustee of Emerson College. And he spoke of his love of poetry, such as Robert Frost, and how proud he was of his garden. I also learned some things that I never knew about him, such as his professional singing career.
I was born in Worcester, and I was there through my school years, except they were interrupted by going on the road singing. So I sang for...
that was the next thing I was.
I started at age, I think it was age 11, perhaps.
I never knew that you were in singing.
No, I don't think I've ever told you.
No.
But at any rate, I started singing with a quartet. No, first, I'm sorry, with a boys' chorus. And then went to an octet, then a quartet, and I soloed in each one of these instances. And when I was a sophomore in high school, 1939, I appeared at both World's Fairs, the one in New York and the one in California. And in between, we sang at resort hotels and churches across the country. So it was a wonderful experience. I'm so glad that I did that. It meant that I lost, even though we had a tutor with us, I lost about a year of school, but it was well worth it.
You must have been pretty good then.
Oh, I'm sure I was fantastic.
Did you want to sing now? Or,
no, I haven't done that for years.
All right.
Yeah, it was great. My parents were very supportive, fortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think they hesitated too long to let me go on the road.
Right.
It may be that they wanted to get me out of the house. But at any rate,
so you think there was a reason?
Well. Yeah. But it was a great experience.
Your sister followed you in?
Yes, well, I came back, and my sister was a professional dancer. And I came back and joined her in a partnership, and we did a lot of nightclub work. And then I did funerals and weddings and so forth. Yeah. And then we did the nightclub work together, and we were still in high school then. And then she branched out. I could never keep up with the dancing bit. Yeah. So she branched out and had a girl partner. Then they were very successful, very good.
Why didn't you continue with the
I did. I enjoyed it very much, but it was on the road all the time. You didn't have much of a home life.
I see. What made you decide to go to WHAV? Or
it was the only job opening at that time.
Is that right?
I auditioned. I guess the only audition I had was in Lawrence, and there was no opening. So I grabbed the first job I could get. One of the fun part of the job, I think, one of my assignments was to go to the Frolics, which is no longer there, Salisbury Beach, and interview all of the stars who were appearing. So every Friday night, I would go down and interview Billy Daniels, Julia La Rosa, I think was there, and there were others. I can't remember them all. But that was Friday night. And then a lot of people came into the studio to be interviewed. I had the late President John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Ted Kennedy. I interviewed all of the Kennedys.
How was it to interview them?
Interesting, yeah. And we had, at one time, we had 3 remote wagons. We had 2 bright red news wagons and a Jeep, a 4-drive Jeep, and we could be on the spot for on-the-spot coverage. And we'd go to fires and accidents and other happenings.
So you didn't mind getting out there and finding the news?
No, that was a lot of the fun of it, I think. The one I recall one instance where we had one of the hurricanes, so we went up to the tower on Observatory Ave there, where you're rather high up there, and boy, that vehicle was coming up right off the ground while we were broadcasting. A little scary, but still we were on the spot.
Survived that one, huh?
Incidentally, that building, the radio station, is one of the few places at that time, anyway, that was built specifically for broadcasting. And we had station owners come from all over New England to take a look at it. It was the epitome of a broadcast studio. It had, instead of having drapery and being located on the second floor of an apartment building or something, all of these walls were engineered acoustically. So you had some absorbed, some of the walls absorbed the sound, some of them bounced it back, and it was supposed to be the ultimate in acoustics.
How did you get involved with teaching? Why did you want to do something like that?
Well, I think, Larry, what influenced me most, I had two great teachers in high school, English teachers, and I decided right then that I had to teach English and speech. I enjoyed public speaking. So that's what really got me started. And I came to Haverhill in 1951.
1951.
And started at WHAV.
Did you get on immediately at WHAV?
Yes, I did. I had to audition, of course, as everyone would. And I auditioned in Lawrence for the late Arthur Flynn. And he did not have an opening and suggested that I try HAV, which I did. And they fortunately had an opening.
Oh, great.
So I guess I graduated from Emerson College in Boston on a Sunday and started working at WHAV the next day on a Monday.
Wow.
So I was fortunate because jobs weren't easy to find.